This afternoon with Coach Ron Hughey. Coach, appreciate your time. It's hard to believe, but basketball season has arrived already.
Hey, I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much. And yes, it's the weather is changing and it's basketball season.
A lot of new faces on your program. We'll get to that in a second. But big picture, what is it that excites you most about the team you've got this year?
You know, the one thing that excites me most about the team I have this year is just the new faces. You know, everybody's coming in with a little chip on their shoulder because of the transfer portal, it allows us to get rejuvenated players who hadn't had the opportunity to prove themselves where they were. Some of them did, but felt like they needed a change. And now coming here, putting this red on, now they're starting to understand what it means to be a Cougar and the opportunities that it presents to them. You know, especially talking about the Big 12 and level competition that we play. So we're ready for an exciting season.
7 new faces in total. Without going through each one of them, who are maybe 2 or 3 of those new faces that fans should expect to see early on in the season?
You know, Ashley, transfer point guard from Texas Tech, is really going to be really key for us. Heady point guard that defends on both ends. Defends on one end of the floor, can get to the basket on the other end of the floor, does a really good job of setting players up and understanding where they need to be and how it need to be delivered to them. She'll be really key for us. Another new face that we'll really be excited to see is Summer Bostic. You know, Summer is transferred from Maryland, that can shoot lights out of the ball, 6-foot guard. Really expecting some exciting things from her. A player that we got last year, but coming off an injury this year that didn't get to play last year, Gia Cook, another transfer from Maryland down here, get to the basket, really feisty player, plays with high energy. Really love to see how she's in the mix with everybody right now, and I think the fans will really like her as well.
A handful of key returners coming back as well, of course, and they're led by Layla Blair. Your conversations with Layla in the offseason, was that something that you knew she was going to come back for a 5th year? Is that something that happened over the summer, or how did that process kind of unfold?
You know, just to tell you a little story, you know how everybody's pitching to get these kids that are not in the portal. So Layla was getting some of those from people that are not from universities, but people connected to universities and those kind of things. And so she was, Coach Hughey, I'm gonna invite you to dinner at my house so we can be able to talk this thing out. And I said, okay, so we went there and we sat down and we basically talked. And you know, the first thing she said, people were throwing all kind of money at her, and I was like, Layla, we can only do what we did last year. And I'm just sorry. We got the best our money can buy. But the one thing that we can do better than anybody else, we know who you are, we know what your family is like, we know the things that take for you to be successful and those kind of things. And by the time we got finished with all the conversation, Layla stood up and said, Coach Hughey, I had planned to come back. I just want you to come to the house. And it was so crazy, but Layla is just a tremendous person, you know, on top of the effort that she puts in every single day, the faith that she has, just being around here doing all kind of things. I can't say enough about her. You know, her leadership is just key for us this year. Being the 5th year, and it was so crazy because one of the new kids, Aaliyah Love, that I didn't get to talk about, transfer from Louisville, she said, we're following Layla because she knows what it's like to be a Coug. She's been here. She knows everything here. And it was really cool to hear her say that because that's who Layla is and what she brings to the table.
You talk about her leadership off the court. What makes her special on the court?
The thing that makes her special on the court is her work ethic. She's going to do any and everything to help us win a basketball game. She's always going to be positive. She's always willing to take the first shot, last shot, middle shot, it doesn't matter. The other thing on top of that is she's always willing to sacrifice for her teammates. And that's the one thing that you have to have someone do in a world and society that everybody has their hands stuck out, and everybody's want to receive something. She's always willing to give. And that's the thing that makes her special on the floor, especially when she's a player that's over 15,000 points already, 1,500 points already, I can't remember the number of assists on the WNBA mock draft board, you know, those kind of things. So she's willing to sacrifice even though she has those accolades. And Big 12 honorable mention last year, you know, those kind of things. And so you have to have that in your leadership, willing to sacrifice for everyone else so everybody can see that example and hopefully follow it.
Year 2 in the Big 12 for Houston. It's a really good basketball conference. What are your expectations for your team this year, and what do you expect to see out of the rest of the Big 12?
You know, I think we got a team that can compete for the championship. You know, the one thing is we have, like I said, I failed to mention Aaliyah Love, who can play multiple positions, 6'1", 6'2" guard. We also have, you know, Peyton, 6'4" post player that's new and improved this year and been working her tail off in the summer. I think we have the pieces to be able to do what we need to do to finish in the top half, but also compete for the championship. You know, the one thing about the Big 12 is grueling, you know, night after night. You're going to get a different style from a different great coach, from different marquee players. So it's extremely, extremely important to be fully prepared for what you're getting ready to face, but also you have to have that mindset to be able to take you through the gauntlet of what you get ready to face each and every night.
What do you look for in the non-conference portion of the season? What do you want to see out of your team in the early going?
We want to build confidence, expose our culture, and continue to build our leadership. Want to win, of course, but we have some challenging games at Georgia. We're going to a New Orleans tournament, and we'll play Minnesota. Unlike last year where we kind of had some mid-majors and low because we wanted to build confidence throughout, this year we wanted to have an opportunity to build some confidence and have some opportunity to get tested. And that's what we did in this schedule this year.
Women's basketball is as popular as it's ever been. The sport's booming right now. So what would your message be to students, faculty, alumni, fans in the city of Houston to get out and support you guys this season?
The time is now. Don't miss the opportunity to see one of the best teams in the best atmosphere, in the best city. The time is now. I'm telling you, you already see what's happening with all the sports of women's sports across the country. So don't miss out on something really exciting that's in your backyard, that's in your neighborhood, that's at your doorstep. Don't miss out.
Coach, appreciate it. Looking
Thank
forward to
you.
the season.
Appreciate it. Go Cougs.